Yeah, okay, so I've not done a video in a while because it's been Christmas holidays and there's a few different topics, a few different videos that I want to do and talk about, but there's one particular video that I want to do before the other ones in sequence, and I can't do that one yet, so it's a bit of procrastination on my part. It's not exactly procrastination, but I just know in what order and what sequence I want to film my videos, and I have to do this one particular one before I do the other ones. So in the meantime, I thought I would do this one. I've just put this one together. I've got my notes here because it's in note form. So I have said that I'm a qualified life coach, so I'm about to right now offer some life advice and guidance. It's not so much advice, but it's more like suggestions. And the suggestions and guidance that I'm offering in this video is all related to things that I've been through myself, things that I've experienced myself, and the manners in which I have dealt with these scenarios, these situations. So let's just get into it. So the first thing that I want to say about this topic, if you've ever felt like you've been ignored in life, being ignored can come in different forms. So it's another way of being overlooked. It's another way of being undervalued. You may have felt invalidated, not validated as a person, for your achievements, for who you are, for your character, for your reputation, for what you bring to the table. So yeah, this can affect our sense of self, our sense of self-worth, our esteem, our value, our sense of value. Yeah, because the way that we communicate and connect and interact with other people affects our identity. You know, our identity very much comes from these things, our connections with others. You know, it's our identity is very much intertwined with the connections that we have and that we form with others. So if there's some sort of a staticness going on with our connections with other people, it is on some level going to affect our identity and the way that we view ourselves. So this is what I'm going to be talking about in this quite short video. I'm not going to go too much into depth because obviously I'm not a psychologist. You know, these topics we can go very, very deep, but I'm gonna touch the surface. I'm gonna skim the surface of this topic. So the 5 ways that we can be ignored that I'm going to talk about in this video are: 1, ignored by friends. 2, we could be ignored by our boyfriend or significant other. 3, we could be ignored by family or feel like we're being ignored by family. Number 4, we could be being ignored at work or feel like we're being ignored at work or underappreciated or undervalued at work. Number 5, also we can feel as if we're being ignored by our community group or social network. So I'm going to talk about these 5 ways that we can be feeling like we're being ignored. Okay, so number 1, ignored by friends. So obviously friends play a big part in our life. We have friends in our life to share good times. We hope that real friends, real genuine friends, are there through the thick and thin, through the bad times as well as the good times. You know, if somebody is a genuine friend, they should really be there through both the ups and the downs of life. Not only there, only when things are going bad, and not only there, just only when things are going good. True friend is there through thick and thin. That's what a true, genuine friend is. So let's talk about this. So obviously, school friends are a big thing for young people, especially when they're at school, when they're at college, or when they're at university. You know, where you're still growing, you're still learning about yourself. You're going through a lot of self and personal development, and we really need our friends as part of that group formation, and as part of that supportive network group of people, you know, there to steer us on through this journey, you know, of self-discovery, you know, of growth, you know, and development. So friends can become quite pinnacle times of our life, for example, in that transition period between, for example, school and college, or for example, between college and university, where you might be leaving one set or group of friends behind, and you know, it can be quite a scary time because sometimes you don't know if I go to this college or this new university. Sometimes we have to move away from home and our family. We're thinking, am I even going to make another group of friends? You know, it can be quite a intimidating time for most of us. So I would say, if you're in any of these phases or stages of life, or if you feel that, you know, you may be falling away from a group of friends, or you may have had a really good friend but you've had a fallout with that friend or a break in that relationship, and you're finding it just, it's a tough time that you're going through, obviously because you had care for that person, you shared good times with that person, and you know, there's a disruption in that relationship, you know, and you may not have a good solid, um, not replacement, but there may just not be any other, you know, you may have just been relying on that person, you know, as either your best friend or that group of friends, you know, that you no longer have that close association with. So it can be quite challenging, it can be quite lonely, you know, and all of that entails you may be going through sort of like a bit of like self rediscovery as well, with that person no longer in your life or having that significance in your life the way that they did before. So I would say, if you're going through this and if you're of working age, going from my own experience, the way that I have dealt with this in the past was very much preoccupying myself with work, you know, with employment. Yeah, as I said, especially if you have that kind of transitional sort of like school to college, college to university type of age range, I would say. This can pertain to older generations as well, you know. I would preoccupy myself with either work, part-time work, a hobby, or volunteer work. Yeah. Yeah, and a hobby that offers a social outlet. Yes. In this way, your thoughts are not going to be so preoccupied with that other person or with that other group of people. Yeah, your thoughts are going to be preoccupied on yourself, on your own self-growth, in your own self-development, and opportunities that will present themselves to you. So it's about redirecting your focus. So yeah, in this way, through forming new work, it's gonna form new friendships and new social groups, because you're gonna be working with a whole new set of new people. But at the same time, the issue doesn't need to be forced, I would say. I wouldn't go to work acting like a desperado, like I just need to make new friends. Obviously you're going to work to earn money, to be productive, to be a valued part of community and society. And in that way, you're going to be naturally, it's an organic process, be meeting new people. And that way, most likely, you're more likely to meet new people, make new friends. Number 2, if you're ignored by your boyfriend or significant other person, partner. So this one, I'll just read it out how I've wrote it because it makes a lot of sense. So if you feel like you're being ignored by your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your significant other or partner, I would say I wouldn't let your identity or your sense of who you are or your sense of value get all wrapped up in this one person and how just only this one person is treating you, or how you are interacting with just this one person. Yeah, that's what I would say. And I would keep your options open, yeah, and realise and reconnect. Remember who you are, okay? Your sense of self, your sense of self-worth. Yeah, I would engage with activities that offer the opportunity for self-love. It could be a matter of pampering yourself or spending a little bit more money on yourself or taking time out, more me time, to get to know yourself a bit better. Connect with yourself and your own other outlets. Yeah. So, for example, there was a time in my life I was doing a bit of singing and music, and one of my exes, he was a musician, and I really wanted us to work together, in a musical setting. And it just wasn't happening because I felt he was undervaluing what I was bringing to the table, okay? So I felt in that instance I was being ignored. My talents, my skills, I felt was being ignored. And what I had to do, I came to realisation that I was placing too much importance on this one person, okay? And what I realised was that I came to realisation he's not the only musician in the world. And he's not the only musician or the only person in the world that I can work with, engage musically with. So I myself started to seek out other people that I could work with musically. And I started to get more involved with that, making my own songs, and came to that realisation, the issue wasn't him, the issue was with me and my dependence on getting that validation from him when he was just one person. So in saying that, what I would say is that if you do that, this may cause, or it may spark, jealousy, also competitiveness with your significant other. So bear that in mind, that that will be like an aftermath of the situation. That if you start to validate yourself, your own skills, your own talent. And what I would say is, if you start to find this happening, that the person's getting jealous, or they start copying you or imitating you because of that similarity in that hobby or that thing that you both do, that you wanted the two of you to do together, but they're just not having it because they're ignoring you, then what I would say is find yet another totally different outlet, or a totally different hobby, even something completely out of the range of what your significant other is even interested in. So, for example, in my instance, what I was talking about, I had this interest in music, and my significant other had this interest in music. And when I started to revalidate myself, as I said, by finding other associations who I could work musically with, because I was feeling I was being underappreciated by my significant other, it was causing competitiveness and mimicry, like it was imitating me. So then what I started to do around this time, I started to get more into creative arts and craft, which was more, I would say, I'm being a little bit biased, but I would say it's a bit more feminine. It's more of a task that women engage with more so than men. Not saying that men can't engage with it, because there are men even in the media right now that do and have popularized this art form, of like arts and craft and knitting. But what I'm saying is, arts and craft and knitting, it really wasn't something that my significant other at the time was digging. It's not something he would have really, he just didn't have that interest. And, this is what I'm saying. In doing that, you'll find yourself that you have hidden gems and hidden talents, because even through doing that, I started to get a lot more recognition from my arts and craft than I was even from the music that I had my initial interest in. So this is what you may find. Yeah, if you're finding that you're being ignored by your significant other, then stop placing so much interest in just this one person, okay? And find that self-validation within yourself, okay? And as I said, if you find they start getting jealous or being even more off key, then just delve deeper and discover those gems, those talents, those skills that you have inside of you. Okay, that is what I would say is key in that instance, in that scenario. Okay, number 3, if you find that you're ignored by family. So obviously family can come in all guises, whether it's your parents or brothers and sisters or extended family like your aunts and your cousins. So I'm going to read my notes. So if you find that this is happening, I would say learn more about yourself. Understand that your identity, shouldn't just be all wholly solely wrapped up with the association of your family identity. I would say reconnect with yourself, understand yourself more, what it is that you like, what it is that you don't like. So, things you like. What style are you into? What colours do you like? What kind of people do you like? For example, celebrities. What role models? Who do you look up to? Yeah. Again, delve into your hobbies, your creativity, your passions. Yeah, all of that to get you to understand more of who you are. Okay, all of those things. Invest more in that. Invest in your style. Yeah, start finding out, what kind of clothes do I like? Do I like tailored clothes, shabby chic, bold print? What am I into? What do I like? What do I like? And what does Marcia like? What colours do I like? So I grew up in a full house with brothers and sisters. And it wasn't until I hit maybe like my mid-20s when I started living on my own, you know, I started to understand, think about my stuff. When I got my own place, I started to really think about how I'm going to decorate my own space. Okay, it was like, okay, I've got my own space. Okay, and when I had my own space, I started to understand myself more, my own style, my own colours, you know, what I like. And through this, I started to form more of me. So more of me and my personality and my character. So this is what I'm saying. This is what you need to do if you're feeling like you're being ignored by family members. Expand yourself outwardly. Yeah, this is what you need to do. And if you're experiencing sibling rivalry, what I would say is remind yourself you are not your family. Okay, you're not your brother, you're not your sister, you're not your cousin. You are you. You are unique. Yeah, you're a unique individual. So yeah, amongst 7.8 billion other people on the planet. Okay, your family are not the be all and end all. Okay, there's 8 billion other people that you can reconnect with, that can become your new tribe. Yeah, so it's about finding your tribe. Okay, finding your people. Okay, and stop placing so much importance on people who are not placing the same importance or appreciation or value on you. Okay, go out there, seek your tribe, go find your tribe, go find your people, and they can become your new family. Yeah, this is what I would say. Yeah, that's what advice I would give if you find you're being ignored by your family. Okay, number 4, if you find that you are being ignored, not appreciated, undervalued at work. Okay, so this is just a short video. As I said, I'm not a counsellor, I'm not a solicitor, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a politician. So I don't want to get too politicised in this video, okay? But going from my experience, here's some advice and guidance I can offer if you find that you're being ignored at work. So what I would say is, yeah, if you find that you feel like you're being ignored at work, I would try to seek out other departments in your field. Okay, let's just read this out. Find other departments that you can associate yourself with and make yourself beneficial and productive in these other areas. So, for example, I've previously worked in education. So I would say in education, this is fairly easy because, for example, if you feel like you're being not quite recognised, for example, in the class by your manager, you know, in education, there's always other fields. They have like student services, they have student societies. Okay, they have usually a careers department. So I would say in this field, it's fairly easy to go and seek out other departments where you can make yourself more productive and feel more valued, more appreciated. But in other careers, this may not be so easily accessible. So for example, you might work in a small office space, employed as part of a very small team, where that movability may not be such an option. So I would say if that is the case, I would say maybe try moonlighting with other positions, other jobs, other vacancies. Maybe try and do some other part-time work on the side, or evening work, or weekend work, other shifts, in other careers that you can work around your current career, where you'll fit, where you will gain that value and that appreciation. While still at that particular position, though, it's always good to voice your opinion, I would say. Be proactive in your engagement and communication with your own productivity at work. Ask for a raise. I would say, don't ever feel too shy or too scared to, if you feel that, you're of that level, of your work is quite outstanding and is viable for that recognition, I would say don't be too shy to ask for either a raise or a promotion, or to be relocated, moved to a different department or a different position. Bring it up with your manager. This is what I would say. If you feel that this is doable, If you see something that you think could be done better, address it with either your manager or your working team. I would say speak up, stand out, show yourself. Bring yourself to the table, show what you should be appreciated for, Show it, stand it out, bring it out. Give acknowledgement where acknowledgement is due. So, for example, if you acknowledge that you might need a career change, acknowledge it, and seek that out. Go forward with that decision. Okay, number 5, and all in all, to conclude the video, if you feel that you're being ignored by a community group or a social network, I would say always, regardless, whoever you feel that you're being ignored by, always celebrate yourself. Celebrate your achievements, your unique qualities, your abilities. Understand that the experiences that you've been through, are valued in this world. You're a unique individual. Only you have walked in your shoes. So, bring this forth. This is what I would say. And if all else fails, I would say start a YouTube channel. That is what I would say. Yeah, or go abroad. Broaden your horizons. Learn, grow, expand your knowledge, your awareness of other cultures, of differences. Do something that you haven't done before. Step outside your comfort zone. Always be learning and discovering about yourself. There's always something new to do. There's always yet another hidden gem within yourself. So that is what I would say to conclude. I would say look within, and draw it out, of yourself. This is what I would say. But as I said, this has been a kind of summary of the topic. If you would like me to delve deeper into anything that I've mentioned in this video, let me know in the comments. If there is any other topic you would like me to discuss or talk about, let me know in the comments. Let me know how you're engaging or finding my Lifestyle Chav Chat channel. Also, I'm going to leave my email in the description. If you would like to book a life coaching session with me, then feel free to get in contact. And on that note, adios. I will see you in my next video. Adios, ciao, la clase, bye, muy bien, bye bye.